Hey guys, I hope you're doing okay. Welcome back to my channel now. Thought I would go live today. I haven't been live for a little while, so I thought why not go live and talk to you guys about the transfers. There's been quite a few going on this week, and I thought I could chat with you guys, answer some of your questions as well. And yeah, I'm really excited to get into this. Hey Jessica, thank you for your comment. Hey Harry, I'm really good, thank you. I hope you are too. Thank you for joining me today. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you all about Arsenal because there's been quite a few going on. I did do a video. Oh, thank you very much. I did do a video the other day about, Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, but I thought, I could chat with you guys, interact with you, and yeah, it'd be probably a bit better. So I think I'll just start off with Declan Rice. So obviously Arsenal have been interested in him. I think they did put a bid in a little time ago, but yeah, so I think Arsenal really should go with him, and I think they're going to go and put another bid in, which I think is really good because Declan Rice would definitely help on midfield. Thank you so much, Chris. Really appreciate that, and yeah, I'm excited to start talking now. Yeah, like I said with Declan Rice, I think that he would be a really big addition to us. I think nothing's happened just yet, but I think Arsenal's set to put a new bid in, and I think West Ham do want 100 for him, which I understand because he's such a fantastic player. But I sort of feel like now might be the right time for him to leave because he's had his time, at West Ham. He's been amazing for them. He's been like their main guy. He's been their captain, and obviously it will be hard for them when he does leave. But yeah, I just think with Arsenal as well, there's rumours as well. Thomas Partey is heading this summer, which will be a shame because I want him to stay personally. It's really difficult, isn't it? Really, with Declan Rice because he's such a great player. But I just think for Arsenal, we need him, and if we are going to move Partey on, which is quite surprising. Like I did see rumours a while ago about it, but nothing really happened with it. It was more sort of speculation with Thomas Partey, but it feels to me that Arsenal would allow that to happen. They would be open to it if they got the replacements in, which surprised me a bit. I didn't think they would be open to that, but yeah, it would be a shame if we lose Partey and Granit Xhaka. Like I could accept losing one of them, but losing two would be tough. We'd have to bring quite a few replacements in. But yeah, I really, really hope we don't lose Partey. But it is looking like it will happen. I think probably we're waiting for a replacement to see what will happen. Partey is 30 now. He's been here for a little while. I think he's got a few more years left on his contract. So it's for me. I would rather him stay, but at the end of the day, if we can bring in a replacement that can take over, and it's hard with Partey because I think he's done really well for Arsenal. I think obviously at the end of last season he did get a bit tired. He was a bit leggy and he did get a bit sloppy. But I think overall, when he's not playing, you can see the difference in the team. We miss him. He's a very important player to have. His experience, and we all know how important it is to have that experience in the team. So I hope he doesn't go, but it's looking likely Arsenal's been open to it. So that's very interesting. I'd love to hear your thoughts on, you know, would you want him to stay? Would you want him to go? Hi Chris and Barry, thank you so much for checking in and subscribing. Arsenal need a few signings. For me, Rice would be a good start. Shocked about Partey potentially leaving. Yeah, it is surprising. Like I didn't think he would leave. Like Xhaka, we all know, but with Partey, I did think his future's at Arsenal. But if he wants to go somewhere else, that's up to him. We just need to find that replacement. But hopefully Rice, Declan Rice can come to Arsenal. Hopefully we'll find that out soon. We just need to put that bid in because they definitely want 100 million, and I don't think Arsenal do. So be very, very interesting. If Arsenal can get their hands on Havertz and Rice, and Arsenal are set up for potential, yeah, I'm going to go on to that actually because I know of Havertz. He's one that Arsenal. I think out of all the signings we're going to get, I think he will be the one that will happen very soon. I think with Havertz, a lot of people including me, I was a bit unsure at first, but now that I've actually had time to think about it and, reflect on it, I think, Arteta wouldn't just buy someone for the sake of it. He must see something in Havertz. He must, value him. And we all know, Havertz hasn't had the best time at Chelsea, and it is another club. He did well there. So sometimes, when I think he's a player, like when he's so confident, he finds it hard to, score to goals, and he just struggles. And I just think him moving to Arsenal could be a good thing. We've got great leaders around him, Zinchenko, Odegaard, and obviously Xhaka will be missed. He is a great leader, but I just think it could be a good thing, and it is looking likely that he wants to come here, and it's so refreshing to see players that want to play for Arsenal come to us. In recent years, we've seen players that might not want to play for us, so I just think it's so positive, refreshing to see players that want to come for us. And I think the deal should be done with Havertz in the next week or so. But I think, like I said, even if you don't agree with this decision, I definitely think we should be supporting him, getting behind him, because, just because he didn't have a great time at Chelsea doesn't mean he won't do well for Arsenal. I feel optimistic about this. I think we've just got to sort of see how it goes, and I think for me it all depends on the price for me, because I've seen that the price could go up to 70 million, and for me that seems like too much for a player like Havertz. I'd probably take around 40 million for him, because we do need to strengthen in other areas. Like if we do buy him, and there's been people talking about, would we play him in midfield, would we play him at the top? So I think it depends where we're playing him, because we do need that striker position. But so I think 17 million does seem a lot, but I think we just need to buy lots of players this summer and strengthen in the areas that we need to strengthen in. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. No, I hope no. I hope not, because personally, I don't think Man City. I don't think it'd be fair. I just want him because Man City have so many amazing players. But I understand, they have all the money and they can spend. But I think for us to compete, we should go for Declan Rice, even though it is an extortionate amount of money. If Havertz is the answer, I'm not sure what the question is, to be honest, but maybe it's better off at another club. Yeah, it's obviously a tough one, isn't it? Because we've not really seen him do so well at Chelsea. So it would be hard to see him, imagine him doing well. He has missed a lot of chances when he doesn't go like up front, and we need a player that will be clinical for us, that will score lots of goals. So it's hard. We can't really know right now, but I think as Arsenal fans, we should just see how it goes, get behind him, and I'll be personally interested to see how much we'll pay for him, because if it's 70 million, that feels so much for him. But yeah, I think people have said he could play in other positions in midfield, but I'd personally, if we are buying him, I'd probably play him up front, because we do have Jesus, but we also need someone that will help us score them goals. Hi Doug, I hope you're okay. Lovely to see you on this chat. Havertz is an interesting buy, I have to say, but play him in a strong position be a good signing. Yeah, I completely agree. It sort of depends where we will play him, because I'm not really sure. There's people that have said in line, maybe midfield, maybe up front. I personally think he'd probably play up front, maybe, because we do need we need a striker, we need someone who will score lots of goals, and hopefully he will score lots of goals. But it's hard one, is it? Because a lot of people like myself are still very unsure. Also, Havertz was playing in a mess of dressing room at Chelsea, who have about 50 players in their squad. Yeah, Chelsea would definitely want to sell to players this summer. They have so many players, they need to fix out their squad. And yeah, Havertz probably would want to leave, start someone new. I think Chelsea are wanting to get rid of lots of players, and it'd be interesting to see what they do. But for Havertz, this could be a good opportunity for him to be somewhere different, try something new, be around different type of dressing room, because maybe that one wasn't the best for him. But yeah, like I said, it'd be very interesting to see what happens there. Chelsea could have their own league because of the amount of players they have. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. The amount of players they have. But yeah, another thing I want to discuss was about Kieran Tierney. Now, this sort of came to me as a surprise because there's been so many speculations about him going to Newcastle being interested. And, it did seem like he was going to leave because he didn't get much game time towards the end of the season. Zinchenko was that guy that played most of the games. Even when he was injured, Tierney didn't get a lot of game time. So it is looking likely that Kieran Tierney will be staying at Arsenal. Arteta and him have had talks, and Arteta's basically just said to him that you will get game time. You'll be part of the squad next season, and I think that's really good news. I think if we lost him, it'd be really, really hard one to take, because I think for me, he's just such a key player to us. He's such an important player. Whether he's a backup player, next season we'll be in the Champions League, and I think for me, we do need to see him have that chance playing in those competitions. And like I've said in previous podcasts, I want us to kind of go for other competitions. Try and win the FA Cup, try and win the League Cup. So I think for me, if he doesn't always play in the league, it's important for him to play in those other competitions, because Tierney is a really good left back. I think he's very old school left back. He's a very special left back. We don't get many of him these days, and I think he's such a special talent. For me, it'd be a really hard one to take if he did leave, because I think he shows so much passion, commitment on the pitch. And I think for me, defensively, Zinchenko has struggled defensively, and I think Tierney is such an important player defensively on the pitch. He stops crosses going to the box. He's just that guy that's fantastic at defending. So I sort of feel like when he doesn't play, that is missing. But I think Zinchenko's aspect of going forward and doing so well is missed. But very happy to hear that news, because I was really worried we'd lose him, and it would be really difficult to watch him play for another Premier League team, because I want him at Arsenal. I want us to keep him, but if he did leave, I would understand, because he deserves game time. He's a fantastic player, and I genuinely will always wish him well. So happy that's some good news on that. Do you think Arsenal needs a goalkeeper, or should we keep Ramsdale on safe leave? Well, I think for me with that, I think Matt Turner is a really good goalkeeper. He's sort of like the backup goalkeeper, and they were just really well for USA. So I think for me, Ramsdale does play a lot of games, but I think he's really growing as a player, Ramsdale. I think, I just think he's doing so well. He's growing in confidence. He makes some absolutely fantastic saves, and he's doing really well for Arsenal. So it's obviously a hard one, but I think Matt Turner is such a great player to have. And yeah, he's sort of like the backup one we play sometimes in goal, but Ramsdale, yeah, Saka definitely deserves a break, doesn't he? He played for England the other night, but I just thought he looked so tired. So yeah, I also want to go in the midfield, talk about Lavia, a Southampton midfielder. Now, Arsenal and Chelsea are both interested in this player, but I think Saka does have some links to him, so possibly he could come. But I just think he would be a great player to have at Arsenal. I think, like I said, we need replacements. If we're losing so many players, it's going to be a tough one, isn't it? Because if we can get rid of players, as long as we bring players in. So I think I would take him. I think he would add a lot to this team. And yeah, I just think we need to improve our midfield if we're getting rid of players. Even if Partey does stay, we still should bring in backup, because obviously Man City, their squad is so ridiculous. It's a joke. It's massive. It's what I wish we had. So I think we need to bring in, experience. We need to bring in more midfielders. Obviously, we do know Xhaka will be leaving. I'm pretty sure that will be happening in the next few weeks. But yeah, I think for Xhaka, I think I understand, really. I think I'd understand for that, and I think he's gone. I think it might be around 13 million, around that price. So I think it's just so important that we bring in back up with bringing the right replacement going forward, because we definitely now we've known we can challenge for the title. We need to know we can go further. So for that, I'd be happy with him. I know the Caicedo stuff. A lot of Arsenal fans liked him, including me. I thought he would be really good to have at Arsenal, but I think Chelsea have shown the more interest recently. They have been a team that are kind of, gone for it a bit more. I think they've put an offer in. So I think, unfortunately, Chelsea probably go for him. If we go for Lavia, I'd be happy with that. I think he'd be a great addition. But I did really like Caicedo as well. Thought he was a really good player to have at the club. But yeah, I definitely think Chelsea right now are going for that, which is a shame. But yeah, and also, guys, while I'm talking, I'm more than happy to answer some questions and chat with you guys. And another one that I think kind of surprised me, I've seen it sort of online, nothing's really came about it, but I think Sanchez wanted to come back to Arsenal, and we know what a great time he's had at Arsenal when he was here. I think he won a few FA Cups, but he left, he went to United, and that didn't really work out for him. He wanted to come back to Arsenal, and Arteta has sort of declined his offer about coming back, which I think is fair, because I think Sanchez, he's in his 30s now. He's sort of getting older in football. So I just think, Arteta probably did the right thing. I will always love Sanchez because he gave me so many amazing memories growing up. But personally for me, I think that ship has sailed, and yeah, I just don't know if it would work, but I do love Sanchez, so interesting to hear that. But yeah, what other positions do you think Arsenal need to strengthen in now? For me, like, it sort of depends on, who stays, who goes. I think for me, we do, I think Tierney stays. I think left back, we should be okay. But it's also hard if Tierney gets injured, Right back for me is a position we need to definitely strengthen. I know we sort of do have Ben White in that position, but he's mainly a centre back. So, and Tomiyasu gets injured so much, which is really unfortunate, because I think Tomiyasu is a fantastic footballer. He's a warrior. I love him, but he gets injured like for half the season, and we know Saliba as well. So definitely centre back, because Saliba is fantastic. He's been a breath of fresh air. He's been amazing for us. And he will continue to be amazing, because it is looking likely he will sign a new deal. But for me, centre back definitely. In the midfield, definitely. If we're losing both Xhaka, Partey, we need to bring in two midfielders, don't we? So definitely there. And I'd probably say striker, because Kai Havertz will probably bring in. I think that'll be that guy. But yeah, we just need a goal scorer that will get us like 20 plus goals a season. And for me, what I want to say as well, I like Balogun a lot, and I saw him score a goal for the USA. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was composed and confident in front of goal. And for me personally, I would like to keep him. I wouldn't want to sell him. I know we could get money for him, but I just think he would be great for Arsenal. So I wonder as well what we would do about that. Would we sell him? Would we keep him? We know he's been on loan, but for me, I really hope we can keep him. But I suppose if Havertz comes, we'll resell Balogun. It's a tough one, really. Hey team, hope you're okay. I'm very well, thank you. What do you think of Havertz going to Arsenal? Yeah, I think, to be honest, like, at first I wasn't too sure, because he's not been great at Chelsea, but I think the more you think about it, Arteta must see a lot in him, a lot of like positive like qualities, and Arteta's done quite good with signings. Him and Edu have, obviously they've had the odd one or two that hasn't gone well, but I think for me that's completely okay, because that happens in football. But yeah, I personally, I'll see how it goes. I'll support him. But I think for me, it's about having a goal scorer that will really score a lot of goals each season, because we really struggle with that in front of goal. Jesus has been amazing, but you know, when he's injured, when he can't play, we need other players to step in. And Eddie Nketiah has stepped in for a little while, but I'm just not sure he's that type of player that could score like 20 plus goals a season. And I personally think we need that in this team. So yeah, that's my thoughts. If you can deliver, I'd be happy with that. But we've just got to really see how it goes. I'm Carlisle United Liverpool fan, by the way. I had some joy of Carlisle getting promoted to League One. As far as Liverpool, that's different. Yeah, Liverpool haven't really had the best season. We were close to getting the top four, but I'm sure next season you'll bounce back because Liverpool do. You're a great team. You know, Klopp's a great manager. But yeah, Liverpool's season did not go what I thought it would go like. It's just been quite surprising, but I think I think ever since you played us, she just grew in confidence, literally, which is unfortunate because you know we're Arsenal. I want us to win that game. But yeah, guys, that's sort of me. Had that chat about a transfer. I'm more than happy to answer some of your questions, and I'm happy to stay on for a little while to talk to you guys about it. Yeah, Liverpool definitely didn't have the best season, but you know, you came fifth. You got Europa League football, which obviously isn't what you want, but it's, you know, it's a good thing that you got that confidence back towards the end of the season. So yeah, and it's really great to talk to you guys on here, and wonder how Liverpool will get on next season. I think you'll have a much better season personally because you know, it's hard when you do have a good season, but yeah, I think you'll bounce back next season and do really well. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys, on things I've said, and yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that you want from me, whether that's to do with the transfer news, players I'd like to sign, Arsenal related. So yeah, and also don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, because I'm trying to get to 1.7k, and I'm, you know, getting there. I'm really grateful for the support. So yeah, don't forget to smash the like button, and subscribe. Who would be your dream signing for Arsenal currently? Well, my dream sign actually is Declan Rice. Like, I've always loved him at West Ham. I think for the Euros as well. You know, he's just a player I admire. I love to watch. I'd love to have him at Arsenal. And hopefully we'll sign him. But Jude Bellingham, you know, I know he's at Madrid, but this is just, if I had to pick a dream signing, I think he's fantastic. I just like him as a person as well. He seems very humble, down to earth, and yeah, I think he's just a great person, and as a footballer, he's just so talented. He's a player that, you know, at Madrid, I generally wish him all the best, and I'm excited to see his future, what his future holds, and just to see him at Madrid. I think he definitely needed to make that change because, you know, Madrid's a great team, and it's a step up, I suppose. And yeah, I think we all knew he would move somewhere. There was that talk about him, about Liverpool, but I did think he probably would come to a Premier League team. So I was surprised he didn't. But I also get, you know, it probably would have been, you know, Madrid, Barcelona, the teams like that. So yeah, I'd love Jude Bellingham. I love Mbappe. I think he's very young, and he's very talented. I just think he would fit in this Arsenal team because, you know, he seems quite a positive guy with good energy, but he's also very talented. I think one day he has potential to be like Henry, and in the Champions League he's done so well. And with PSG, they're very like, you know, people just focus on like sort of like him. Yeah, I'm not good at pronouncing his name. Yeah, bring on. I don't think that would have happened for a while because we've just started to get back in the Champions League. We've not been in the Champions League for such a long time. So I think it will be interesting to see how we get on next season. But they're sort of my ideal signings. Yeah, I really do like them. You never know, we could sign one of them. I think we're more likely to sign Declan Rice. But yeah, also need a right back, left back, another midfielder, and another striker for me. Yeah, definitely we need to strengthen because next season, I've said this, I want us to maintain the league. I want us to go for it. You know, Man City have an amazing squad. They're an incredible team. Pep Guardiola is incredible with what he's done, but they'll want to go for like win even more things, and I just think it's going to be hard to challenge with them, and that's why I wanted us to win the league this season. But you can't fault how good they are, and I think we need to probably make between maybe 5 signings, I suppose, because if we're losing out in midfield with Partey and Dzeko, we need to definitely bring in a few midfielders. Just combine. I think, do you know what though? I think Jesus, his first season at Arsenal, he's had a big injury. He came back, he's full of confidence, and he's done really well. I think a lot of people, have been a bit harsh on him with the criticism towards the end of the season. But I can't wait to see more of him next season as well. I just think we should bring in a striker because I just think that would really help us going forward. And hello, thank you so much for joining this conversation. To those that have just joined now, I've just had a little chat about, Partey, Declan Rice, Havertz, Tierney, a bit about the transfer news. I'm sort of just answering questions now. If anyone wants to ask me anything, you're more than welcome. If you had to take, oh no, you can't ask me that. I don't really want to take any. Like, I'd rather not. It's a hard one because I don't like Spurs, but it's really hard because I feel like for me, Harry Kane is, he's breaking records. I feel sort of part of me that feels sorry for him because he's not won anything for his success. And he should be, of course it's amazing breaking them records, it's a dream to do that as a footballer, but I just think, he should be winning trophies. He got to the Euros final, he sort of got, he was so close to winning something. So I don't really know, like, it's hard. It's really hard to pick one because I don't really want any of them at all. But I just think Harry Kane sort of deserves to win something, not at Spurs, by the way, because I just don't see Spurs winning anything. So thank you so much, Harry, for that question that I did not want to answer. I don't want to take anyone, okay? Because I don't like Spurs at all. But I just don't think, I can't really think of any other players that I'd want to take. Son and Kane, as to me, the main people. But apart from that, I couldn't pick anyone. Like, if Harry Kane went to a serious club, he'd be more respected. Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because I don't feel a lot of people give him that respect maybe he deserves because, obviously we know he loves Spurs and we all know that and I respect that. But if you'd want to win trophies, you would leave Tottenham because, not being funny, but they won't win anything anytime soon. So yes, they've got a new manager in, but Conte is one of the best, and he came in, he couldn't get anything out of them. And I just think no matter what manager they come in, there's still a mess at the club. So for me, Harry Kane, people know he will always respect Spurs, and we know that. But if I was him, I would personally move on because I think he could go play the Champions League, do really well for himself. But I also think he wants to break records, within the league. So I sort of don't see it going anywhere. But it will definitely be interesting to see, what happens in the summer because I just don't know if he would leave. I don't know if he would have it in him to make that big of a move because of his love for Tottenham. So, yeah, be interesting to see what will happen. I think he'd be a Spurs the rest of his life, though, I haven't been honest. Oh, Tottenham is shit, aren't they? Sorry about my language, but they're not very good. And Harry. Tottenham, I'm happy with it. Them being bad, it is quite good. We've had one of our best seasons, in such a long time, and Tottenham have probably one of the worst seasons. What did they finish, like 7th? I actually can't remember what they finished because I don't really care. But they've not done very well. We have. Obviously, we didn't win the league. We came second, but Yeah, it'd be interesting to see about Harry Kane. Don't know if he would actually go and leave. It would be a bit of a big move for him. Yes, like Tottenham don't even need to like, when that song Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. They don't even need to go anywhere. They get battered at their own stadium. Like, yeah, I don't know what to say else about Tottenham. I'm not their biggest fan, but yeah, interesting to see. But I can't really pick which Tottenham player I'll have because I don't think I'd want any. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any more questions. I've been on for half an hour, which went like that. I love talking to you guys. Well, to be honest with you, yeah, Chelsea haven't had the best season, but you're not as bad as Tottenham. Also, now you're actually on here and you're a Chelsea fan, what do you think of Kai Havertz? Going to Arsenal, it's looking likely that it'll happen within the next few days or next week or so. What do you think of that? I know Chelsea need to get rid of a lot of players because you do have a big squad. So if you're still watching, just let me know what your thoughts are. I think, when I heard the news, I was quite sad because he's had such a good time at Arsenal. I felt like I'd like him to stay for another season because this last season has been his best season. So I'm quite, I'm a bit sad and disappointed that this is his last one. But I feel like he's going out on a high. He had the best game. I think he scored 2 goals on his last Arsenal game. And, I think the opinion of the fans on Xhaka has changed massively. A lot of the fans really respect him now, really love and appreciate what he's done for the club. So I think, it's sad, but I kind of think maybe it's the right time for him to have that change. He's had a great time at Arsenal, but I'm a bit surprised as well because I thought he would stay for a little bit longer. Like, I thought he would maybe stay for another year or so because we're back in the Champions League. He'd want to, win something with us. And that's why it's so disappointing that we didn't win the league because thought that was a great opportunity for him to leave. But yeah, a bit sad, but I wish him well. What about you, Ryan? I'm pretty sure you like Xhaka, so what do you think about that? That's interesting because I thought you wanted Moses Caicedo. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think for me in the midfield, I thought we were sort of focused on that, but it seems that Arteta and Edu and that have gone in for Kai Havertz. But I think, like, from what I've heard on the internet and from what I've seen, it seems like you guys definitely are more interested in Caicedo. You're going for him more than us. So, yeah, be interesting to see with that. I did want Caicedo personally. I think he's a great player, but we'll just have to see what happens on that. Yeah, that actually really surprised me that because I did see that talk about that a little while ago, but not much happened. Not many people talked about it, so I thought I'll leave that under the carpet. But it looks like it's going to happen, and I'm a bit disappointed. I'd want him to stay for a bit longer. I think he has 2 more years on his contract, if I'm right in saying. So I thought maybe he would, half his time at Arsenal, stay for a few more years. So I'm a bit surprised, but Arsenal seem to be open to the fact if he wants to leave, he can leave. So yeah, it's interesting, but I think he's had a good time at Arsenal. I think it's been hard because he's had some great performances. Like he can have like 8 out of 10 performance, and other times he can have like a 4 out of 10. So I think sometimes he might struggle with that, but I just think he was part of our future, but unfortunately he's not. And if he wants to leave, he can leave. But it's about finding a replacement. Bit surprised, but yeah. What do you guys think of it? Because it sort of came out of nowhere, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I agree. I think Lavia definitely have seemed to be our targets and Kai Havertz right now. Yeah, it just came out of nowhere. Like, what the hell? It's just randomly came out of nowhere. I'm a bit disappointed, but if a player wants to leave, I want them to stay because they're happy here. Maybe he's not happy. Maybe he wants to change. It's hard to know, really, isn't it? But it must be hard for him because him and Xhaka have built this great connection on the pitch, and it must be hard for him that his friends leaving as well. Um, we've got to trust Arteta. He's got his plan to evolve the squad to go next level. Yeah, definitely. I think this season, none of us expected us to challenge for the league, and we've done so well. We've, proved a lot of people wrong. I always say Arteta deserves a lot more respect than what he's been given. Unfortunately, we've just not been able to show it with a trophy. I think, we deserve to win something this season, so it's obviously really hard to take that we haven't won anything. But I definitely think Arteta's going in the right direction. I think a lot of people are on board now with the project, with what he's doing here. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Arteta's done fantastic this season. He deserves a lot more praise really than what he's getting. Partey appears to have a lot of issue off the field. I think this is why he's leaving. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know if this is anything to do with it, but I know, like, in his maybe last 8 to 10 performances, I think his performances sort of fizzled out a bit, and he just seemed a bit like he wasn't feeling it, he wasn't happy. Maybe that's it. And if you're not happy, then it must be hard to be in an environment where you're not happy. So, I definitely think if that's the case, then I genuinely wish him well. But I think there'll be a lot of changes at the club next season. But yeah, it's surprising, but it's just came out of nowhere, in my opinion. Like, didn't expect this to happen, but yeah, I definitely agree with Ryan on this. It must be that. I can't think of anything else. I know he's 30 now. He's getting to the age where he probably wants to win something serious, but yeah, it's surprising. How long do you think Arteta will stay at Arsenal? It's obviously hard. I definitely think he'll be here for the next 5 years. Within the next 5 years, definitely, because I think he loves this club. He understands the club. He understands the values of the club, and he's really changed the culture at Arsenal. He's changed a lot of things at Arsenal. Obviously, we know he has faced some difficulties. Getting knocked out of the Europa League, finishing 8th, twice finishing 5th. Arsenal shouldn't be a club like that. We should be within the top 4, doing really well. So it is unfortunate, he's had those difficult moments. But for me, I've seen so much positivity. The players he's brought in have been fantastic. They have been I think they've just been a breath of fresh air. So I think with signings, he knows the right people. I think he is a part of our future. I don't see him going anywhere for a while. Definitely not for the next 5 years. I think he could stay longer than that. But I think for me, if he stayed here for the next 5 years or however long, if things weren't going well, like with Wenger, things sort of crumbled for him, things went downhill for him. I think if that have happened, I think he would leave. Because he wouldn't ever want to ruin that reputation he has with the Arsenal fans, because I know he loves this club. So I definitely think, Arteta has a future here, be here for a while, which is good, because definitely think he's the right guy for us. Who's your favourite Arsenal player? Well, right now it's sort of two in a way. I have sort of two players. So for me, like, Saka is that guy for me that I just love watching. And we know what a great person he is. He's so humble, down to earth, and a really big inspiration. So definitely go here. But the other one, Odegaard, I think he had a great season. He's been really impressive. And yeah, I think as a captain, he's been fantastic. I think he's definitely the right fit for the captain. I wasn't sure at first, because I thought Tierney would be that guy, but Tierney doesn't always play a lot. And now we've seen he could go somewhere else in the summer. So Odegaard, I just think he is exactly what we need. He is part of the future for a long time. So probably with them two. But Ryan, I would love to know your favourite Arsenal player. It's hard to pick right now, isn't it? Because there's just so many amazing Arsenal players in the team right now. Who's been your favourite guest you've had on apart from me? Oh, Ryan, I loved having you on. We'll definitely have to do something again because I think I had you on the first game of last season, which feels like ages ago. I enjoyed that very much. So thank you for coming on as well. That is a good question because I've had, the opportunity to do, so many amazing videos of people. Obviously, Kevin Campbell, to do a video of him, it's just quite crazy. It's like amazing, such a dream. He's so lovely. It was such an honour to chat to him, and what I liked the most is that he had questions to ask me as well. So it was very very nice of him. Did a video with Amanda from the Same Old Arsenal podcast, which she is so lovely. And I'm actually going on there very soon. Sophie from the Highbury squad as well. She's so lovely. There's been, so many amazing people. Doug from the Dugout Football Channel. I just felt like I just enjoyed talking to him and it went so well. I think, I enjoy videos to do with everyone. Also, James, Cecil of AFTV, they were so lovely. And for me, because I watched them and I looked up to them, it was just such a nice thing to talk to them. So I'd probably go that. It's hard to kind of pick the one person because, it's very nice to chat to Arsenal fans, to opposition fans. But yeah, that's sort of my answer, even though it's a bit long. Yeah, everyone loves Saka. I love chatting to you guys. But remember to hit the like button if you can, to those that are watching. And yes, subscribe as well. I'll probably stay on if people keep asking me questions to about an hour. So I have still a bit of time and I'm really enjoying chatting with you guys. This one is a difficult one because last season, he's had that injury, Smith Rowe. I feel like Arteta only played him when he sort of ran out of ideas. He didn't know who else to put on. I think, he wants to be at Arsenal. I think Arsenal want him. So I do hope we can see more of him next season. But yeah, it'll be hard, if he doesn't get that game time he deserves because he will always have Arsenal no matter where he is. I think in the future, if he ever left, I'd be so upset. It'd be heartbreaking, but I feel like if he doesn't get the game time he deserves, then it's not really fair on him. I think he's just such a special footballer. He's one of a kind, and we all know he loves Arsenal. So I hope he gets game time. I think Arteta, wants him to get game time, but I just don't understand why he didn't get that game time at the end of last season that he deserved. That is hard, isn't it? I hope he can stay at Arsenal for a while and not go anywhere. Because I know I think it was only speculations about West Ham doing a swap deal with, we get Declan Rice, they get Smith Rowe, but I could never get rid of Smith Rowe. I love him. Him and Saka are the guys. Yeah, definitely. Saliba has had a great season. I think I feels like he's been at this team for years. Like he's just such an amazing player. And yeah, Bergkamp, I hope we get a Bergkamp one day. I just think Bergkamp's a player that he's one of a kind player, isn't he? He's just such a unique player to have, so talented. But I think my all-time favourite player would have to be probably Wrighty or David Rocastle because of how much they loved Arsenal. They had this great bond on the pitch. So for that, I'd probably pick them. But Henry as well. He's such a he's the GOAT, I believe. He's probably our best player. So it's hard to pick. We've had some great players over the years. Football has lost a lot. Yeah. Oh god, this is going to be hard. Keep or sell? Tierney, Jorginho, Pepe, Smith Rowe, Tomiyasu, White, Vieira. So I'll go for who I'll keep first. I'll definitely keep Tierney. I think for me, he is a part of our future. Yes, he's not had that much game time, but I just couldn't imagine him not at Arsenal because he loves his club so much. And he's a great player, a backup player, a great player to have, for the FA Cup games, League Cup games. I definitely want to keep him. Jorginho, it's a difficult one, isn't it? He did sign a short-term deal, but I personally like him. I think, if we're getting rid of Partey and Xhaka, we sort of do need to keep someone who has that experience, that winning mentality. So I'd probably keep him for another season. With Pepe, I value Pepe. I think he scored some great goals for Arsenal, but I just don't think he's consistent enough. I just don't think if he's adapted to the Premier League, he did well before he came here. So maybe the Premier League is just too much for people. Like, some people adapt to it, some people don't. So I'd probably sell Pepe. Smith Rowe, obviously keep. I love him. I hope he gets the game time he deserves though, because he hasn't been since his injury. So that one's a tough one. I do love Tomiyasu, I gotta say it. I just think ever since his debut, I think he's shown that he's a warrior. He fights for the badge. He loves the Arsenal, but it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because he's injured so much. For me, I would keep him and see how he gets on next season regarding injuries. And if he gets injured again, I sort of feel like, would definitely maybe have to move him on. It's a hard one. I love him, and I always will. He's a player that I really love to watch. He's super talented, but he's not reliable with his injuries. So I don't think that helps the team. And Ben White, keep. He's amazing. I think people can be harsh on him sometimes, but yeah, I love him. I love how he's sort of like the Bruno Fernandes of our team in a way, with like, he's not nasty, but he's quite sly in a nice way. So I really like him. Now with Vieira, I'd probably send him on loan. Now it all depends on who we bring in the summer though, because if we like sell both Xhaka and Partey and don't bring much back up, it's a tough one. But yeah, I'd probably loan him for him to have that experience. But I'm open to keep him because I think he just deserves more time, and it'd be interesting to see how he would manage Champions League games and other competitions. So yeah, I'd love to hear you guys. Would you keep, sell, or loan as well? Which any of these players? My favourite player currently from Arsenal is Saka. Instead of calling Bukayo Saka, I call him Baller Saka. Oh, I love that. Yeah, Saka, he's amazing. He's had a great season. I think Odegaard has been a player of the season for me. He's a quiet leader, but quiet in a good way. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Arsenal have lacked a captain for a while, and I think for me, he's quite humble. He's not in your face. He's very quiet, like you said, but he's a big leader. He's a big character around the team, and he's very likable. He gets on with a lot of other people, and I definitely think he'll be our captain for a long time. And I look at him and I just think, when he takes our team out on the pitch, I just feel proud of him. Proud he represents Arsenal, and I think he's just a great leader. Yeah, we still have him. I think with that, obviously he did help us a bit of last season with trying to get a top four, but I just think he's never been that consistent. And I don't know if that's because Arteta hadn't played him week in, week out all the time, or if it was due to the fact that he just hasn't adapted to the Premier League. Because, like I said, some players just don't adapt to Premier League, and that is okay, but unfortunately it happens. So yeah, it's been a while since he's played. So yeah, Declan Rice obviously is the one I'd want, because I think he would improve our squad. I do like Casado as well, but a lot of these, I think Casado could be going to Chelsea as well. So that one is a bit annoying because I liked him. I do like Lavia as well. From what I've seen, he seems very talented. I think he would definitely fit in our midfield, with the fact we are going to lose players. It's just crazy with Partey. I didn't think he would leave, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we do there. Striker-wise, I personally want to keep Balogun and see what he can do. Obviously, if we get Kai Havertz as well, I'll see how that goes. But I think for me, I really like Balogun. I think it's good to trust in like youth players, trust in that, because Smith Rowe, Saka. I know Smith Rowe has been on loan and Reece Nelson have been on loan. They haven't just came into the team and done so well. They've had to get that experience. But I feel like for me, Balogun's gone out and got that experience. So I would definitely like to see him get the opportunity to shine, to flourish, to play under Arteta, because I don't think he's a player I'd want to let go. I'd want to get rid of for the money. I know we could make money with him, but I just wouldn't want to. I like him. So yeah, that's probably who I'd go for. I think we do sort of need to strengthen though with right back. With the right back position now, because yes, Ben White can play there, but he's sort of I think with the centre back stuff, like he's sort of a centre back, but I don't mind playing at right back, but it's just hard when players get injured and yeah. Um Ronaldo and Messi. Oh, this is hard. Um I always see this question, I'm always like indecisive about it. Um I've always warmed more to Ronaldo, if I'm being honest, but I kind of think, they're both the GOATs. They've both done so well for their career. Um, I used to wish Ronaldo could play for Arsenal. But I think I've always warmed more to Ronaldo, but I just think Messi's probably the better player. He does better than him, but I'm not a one that always compares them. I always think, they're both amazing players. Um, it's they just I just like appreciate them both as footballers. You've got to what they've done in this game is out of this world, and it's great to look up to them in football. So it's always a tough question, but I'd probably go. I think Messi's done better, but I've always probably preferred maybe Ronaldo. But I think the thing that turns me off a bit with Ronaldo is, I suppose, his arrogance and his sort of attitude. And no, he hasn't done great at United. United, aren't the club they were, but I just don't know. It's hard, really, isn't it? Yeah, it's a great question, but it's a difficult one, really, isn't it? They're both great players that you love to watch. So if you do talk to, no, I don't. Like, I knew you were going to ask that, Dave. If you had to pick one, who would you pick, Eddie or Flo? That is obviously a tough question. I think Nketiah has done well stepping in, and he scored some great goals. United goal. I think we're at home, or I think might be at home actually. I thought that goal was great. I think he has got the intelligence in him to score some really clever goals. I just think for me, I don't see it consistently. Like, yes, he could probably score 8 to 9 goals a season, but we need sort of more than that. And obviously with Balogun, we haven't seen him play for Arsenal yet. So I appreciate what Eddie's done for Arsenal, but I think with Balogun, I just think maybe we would go on another level with him. Maybe he could get us 20 goals a season. I think he's very talented, so I'd be open to pick Balogun, but I think Eddie has done really good for Arsenal. Ronaldo for me, yeah, it's obviously a tough question, because I've always, like, if someone said to me when I was younger, Ronaldo or Messi, I've always more warmed towards more Ronaldo, but I just think Messi, what he's done in the game as well, is fantastic. But yeah, I can't argue against Ronaldo. Or if someone said I prefer Ronaldo, that's fair enough, because they're just so incredible with what they've done in the game. Yeah. Messi, Ronaldo is basically like Nadal and Federer in tennis. Yeah, they're just so amazing. It's like, so if you do think Arsenal will compete for a title again next season, or win it maybe, I hope so. We can. It's obviously difficult now because of Man City. That's why I felt frustrated that we didn't sort of get over the line last season, because I know every season is going to get more difficult for us. But I think we can. I think it depends on who we bring in the summer. I think when the transfer windows closed, and I can assess, do I think these players will help us get to that point? I think we can. I believe we can. But I think for me, it's also about, like I said before, seeing how we do in the Champions League, winning other competitions. We put all the eggs in the basket in the league, and I want us to do it with other competitions like the FA Cup, the League Cup. Yes, they're not as big. The League Cup's not as big as winning the league, but I just think we need silverware now. I want us to go for the league as well, of course. Challenge with City. I want us to try and get something at City, because we always struggle to beat them, to get a draw against them. But we'll just have to see with that how that goes. I hope we can win the league next season, but it'll be interesting to see how we do in the Champions League as well, because I know that in recent years we've struggled, and it's been a while since we've been in the Champions League. So yeah, definitely. I wouldn't really want to get rid of him for the money. Yeah. Oh, I feel like I've forgotten what that Champions League tune sounds like. It has been the longest time ever. I can't wait personally. I don't know how we'll do in it though. I think we'll do better. Don't think we'll capitulate or we'll fall apart like we have done recently in the Champions League. I think we'll do well, but I'm excited. I personally think that's a positive about the season we've just had. We've seen that we can go for that. So yeah, I really love doing these videos because it's great to chat with you all. Yeah, do you know what it is? I don't know. Like when like the women's team, the men's team played they wore the home kit for a few of the games. I think it was for one game at the end of the season. It looks good, but I just can't imagine myself wearing it. Like, I just don't know what it is. Like, I might change my mind. I'm sure you'll see me in that kit sometime for next season, but I'm not like 100% sure what I think of it. I think it looks lovely on the players, but I just can't imagine myself wearing it for some reason. Oh, do you know what? I did not. I hate being in Europa League. Like, think because we've not been successful is one, but the music just doesn't do it for me. Like the Champions League just does it for me. And honestly, it feels like forever since we've like not been in it. So yeah, I'm excited. But for you, maybe you could win Europa League. That'd be good for you guys. Yeah, that is it. It's hard really because she would be fantastic, but nothing's been announced yet. I think we'll just have to hope she'll come. I think she will. Obviously, she's left United now. She did that announcement, but for me, it'd be very fascinating. I'd be interested to see what she'll decide. I think she'll be coming to Arsenal, but it's quite a ballsy move to like a rival team that had done really well over the years. But I'd love to have her at Arsenal. She's such an incredible footballer. Oh, I love that. I love that kit. Very underrated. Well, a lot of people do like it, but we didn't wear it as much as we should have. I think it was really, really nice. Some of our kits, I'm very fussy with kits. Last season, one was a collar. I just personally don't like collars on football shirts, like that type of feeling. I just don't know. I just think I'd feel very uncomfortable, but it looked lovely, but it just wasn't for me. I liked the one before that season now. I thought that was nice. The black kit is so lovely. I love that kit. It looks very smart. You could wear that with jeans, with leggings. Like, it just looks dead cool. I like that. But with some of the kits, I'm not feeling it. Some I like, some that I'm just very picky when it comes to football shirts, to be honest, because yeah, that's just me. But I don't know what I think of the home kit for this season. I think it's okay. I think it looks great on the players, but I just don't know if I vision myself wearing it though. That's the only thing. What do you guys think of it? Because I know, Ryan, you said, I don't think you're feeling it, but yeah, it's obviously a tough one, isn't it, really? But yeah, guys, I've nearly been on for an hour. Can't believe I've been chatting with you guys. I'm actually on for a little bit and then head off. But yeah, I'm really enjoying chatting with you guys. Please don't forget though to smash the like button. I want to try and get to maybe 30 likes or more on this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you can. I'd really, really appreciate that. I'm trying to eventually get to 2k. I'm on about I'm just under 1,640 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it if you could help me with that. And yeah, I really am enjoying this video. It's great to chat with you guys. If you do have a few more questions, I know there's a few of you still on. And thank you so much for those that have joined me today. I will still answer a few more, and then yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I think you're new to my channel, my videos, and it's really been such a joy to chat with you as well. So thank you for asking me questions. Yeah, so with the Lionesses, it's a hard one because I think Leah Williamson, Bethany being out, I don't feel like as excited. They're a big part of the team, and I don't really know how we'll do. I think we have the squad to go far, but I think we do have a few players out, which obviously is hard. You know, Ellen White, Jill Scott won't be there this time as well. They have experience as well, so I definitely think we'll go far. We've got the talent. I think we'll do really well. You know, Russo, Toon will be there. I think, you know, we're doing really well in midfield. You know, Kira Walsh is one of a kind. He's a great talent. Georgia Stanway. So, you know, I think we'll be good. And I think Lauren James getting picked, Beth England getting picked. I think they were some great choices from Serena. Beth England, as much as I don't want to say it, she has been incredible for Spurs. She has really helped lift them. She's helped them in the league, and I think she would add a lot into this team. Rachel Daly as well. She had an incredible season for Aston Villa, and it's funny because now she'll probably play up front, and she's been playing at left back. So very, very interesting with that. Lauren James is a very talented player, and I'm really excited to see what she'll give this team. How would Neymar do in the Premier League? I personally wouldn't want him because of his ego in the dressing room and his attitude. Yeah, it's difficult because when he was in his prime at Barcelona with Messi, Suarez, I thought, you know, I would just be honoured to have him at Arsenal. I'd just love to see him play for my club. It'd be like a dream signing, but I'm sort of with you. I think because he's getting older now, I want young players at Arsenal with like a positive, mature attitude, and I just don't think he would fit in this team of Arsenal. And like you said, you know, for Liverpool, they're a team now who need to sort of get back to doing well, get back to top. Of course, he would help with like goal scoring, but I just think, like you said, with his attitude, I don't know if it'd work well in the dressing room. For you guys, for Arsenal, definitely not for us. Maybe in his prime, I would have considered it, but I think, you know, I think it's about nothing wrong with bringing, you know, older, experienced players in your team, but I think having the right attitude is like really important because you don't want players with the wrong attitude at your club. It's just not what you want. So yeah, it's a bit. I don't know how he would do in the Premier League now. I don't know which team he would go to. We've seen Ronaldo come. And he didn't, you know, he did score some great goals for United, but he didn't really help them at all. If I'm being honest, like in some senses, he helped them, and over he didn't because, you know, United are a football team. It's not just a one player team. So, you know, sometimes all the players, you know, don't work out. But yeah, how do you think the Community Shield will be in setting and tone the season? Chance to make a big statement against City and win. Yeah, that is a really good question, and it's a tough one, isn't it? Because if we lost that, going to the league, wouldn't want that to affect our confidence. But I think, you know, Man City are a really difficult team to beat. They'll want to set the season off really well for them. You know, they will want to start off on a high. So it's tough. I think we've got to win. I think for me, I want the team to put in a performance that I'm proud of, and go for it. Wembley, you know, Wembley, we have been successful. You know, we did win a Community Shield a few years back for Arteta. We beat Liverpool, I think, with the penalties. So I think for me, you know, we've just got to put in a great performance and, you know, soak the atmosphere, enjoy it all with Wembley. But yeah, I think it'll be a statement going to the season in a way. I think if we don't win, but we put a great performance in, I'll feel proud. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but it'll be great, you know, having that opportunity and hopefully winning against Man City. Yeah, Neymar is a brilliant talent, but the problem is ego and attitude. Yeah, I agree. Like you said, he is, you know, a great player to watch and have at your club, but yeah, would you cause problems around the dressing room? That's the thing, isn't it? It's hard, really. I'm more kind of aimed on football, but I occasionally might watch tennis here and there. But yeah, I'm more kind of football really. Yeah, I don't really kind of watch. I think football's always been my kind of sport I enjoy. Growing up, my family just always had football on, like not much else. So basically, yeah. What about you, Chris? I'd love to know if you have any other, if you're interested in any other sports. I think with Salah within the season, um, I think, I think people really haven't given him the credit he deserves. He still scored a lot of goals, but you know, he still struggled in the season to get the top four to win things. So I think people have been harsh on him, but I think next season will be an important season for him. If you win the Community Shield, it's a trophy. If you don't win it, it wouldn't lose sleep over it. Liverpool looked unstoppable first Man City in that game. Yeah, the rest of the season. Yeah, like it sort of is a defining moment, but it sort of isn't because if you win that and you go into the league, that will help your confidence. For Arsenal, if we win it, go into the league, that'll definitely help us with our confidence. But yeah, I just think for Arsenal, I think if we lose, don't our heads to drop. I don't want us to kind of feel sorry for ourselves. We've just got to pick ourselves back up and go again. But I would like to see us put a performance in that I'm proud of, that I feel happy with. So yeah, that's kind of what I'd say in that. It will be interesting to play them. Hopefully we'll have brought a few signings in. Hopefully Declan Rice will be here by then. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see with that. I'll stay on for a few more minutes and I'll probably head off. But if you can, like my video and subscribe, and I'll answer a few more questions. I'll probably stay on for about 5 more minutes, and I will definitely do another one of these again. I'll stay on for a little bit before I go. I'll answer some of your questions, but yeah, I should be back as well on the channel maybe on Wednesday, I think. I'm not sure if it's a live video or if it's a pre-recorded one. But I'm actually starting a new thing on my channel where I interview some women in football. So I've got a few good people to get on. So I think it's good to kind of do different things now the football's not on as well. It's great to talk about the transfers, but I also like doing other things. Hey Terry, hope you're okay. Hopefully you can go on my channel soon now that my exams are sort of, I've still got one to do tomorrow, but it'll be done by then, so I can relax now. So it'd be lovely to have you on. I watch football, boxing, darts, and F1. The main sport, tennis, is one of them. But I watch main sports, aren't none. Yeah, that's really interesting to know. Some people in my family love F1 as well. I think boxing's quite good as well. I watch the odd thing, but yeah, I think football's sort of my main thing that I enjoy. Do you think we're actually going to be able to make some money from outgoing? Seems like teams doing a lot better. Yeah, I think with our players, a lot of them, like I'm not saying these players would go in the summer, but like if you look at El Neni, if you look at Rob Holding, they've been here for a while. I don't know if we'd make a lot of money out of them. That's the thing. We give people deals that they have for a while, and I don't know. I think with Partey we could make a bit of money from. I think with Xhaka he'd probably go for like 13 million, but I think with that, yeah, I think it is. I don't think we'd make a lot of money. It depends. I think Partey we can. It depends who else we sell in the summer. But yeah, definitely interesting to see with that. But yeah, guys, this has been so great to chat with you all about Arsenal, about transfer news, about a bit of everything. It's been so lovely to talk with you guys. I'll try and do this again maybe next week if I have time, or the week after. But yeah, keep checking on my channel. I will do, I think, another video this week. I'll try and keep consistent, but hope you guys can hit the like button. Hope you guys can subscribe, and I hope you all have a lovely evening as well. I've been on here for a little while, but I think it was needed. I've not really done this. Has been like a Q&A in a way. I've not really done this for a while. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I shall see you all on my next video.